Well, I don't know. I think it was just one of those fluke things, so I'm better now, but thank you, though.
I'm glad to see you're doing good, bud.
I appreciate that.
You're welcome. Something didn't Chuck?
Well, I don't know. I think it was.
Okay, we're live now. And this is People of the State of Michigan versus Michael David, docket number 19-479FH. Mr. David, you're here today based on allegations that you're in violation of probation that were issued by bench warrant. It's alleged here that you absconded from the KPEP residential treatment program on March 30 of this year. And do you understand the allegation against you?
I do, Your Honor.
If it is
Yes.
true, it could subject you to a maximum penalty of up to 5 years in prison on your one prior conviction, up to 1 year in jail on the other. And you have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed for you at public expense. You also have the right to a contested hearing where you could appear by yourself or through hold on, because the probation agent is here. I forgot about her. Okay, Agent Russell is now with us. I'm sorry, I started a little early without you. I was just advising Mr. David. He has the right to an attorney and also the right to a contested hearing where he could appear by himself or through an attorney, hear the evidence presented against you, cross-examine witnesses, and present your own evidence. And as you can see, we have an attorney standing by for you if you want one. Do you want me to appoint Mr. Austin?
That won't be necessary, Your Honor, I don't think.
Okay. And then do you want a contested hearing?
I'm not sure what that is, but I
Like
don't
a
think that's
trial.
necessary either.
Okay,
No,
so
no, thank you, Your Honor.
I think what you're telling me is you want to plead guilty to probation violation.
I am guilty of probation violation, yes, Your Honor.
Would you raise your right hand, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I swear, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. David, as I said, you have the right to a contested hearing. If you plead guilty, you won't have a contested hearing, and you'll be giving up the rights that go along with it. That includes the right to be represented by an attorney, the right to have the allegations proven, the right to have the witnesses against you appear at the hearing and to be able to cross-examine them, the right to have this court order any witnesses that you might have to appear at the hearing, and also the right to testify yourself at the hearing if you wanted to. Do you understand those rights?
I do, Your Honor.
Has anyone made any promises to get you to plead guilty?
No, Your Honor.
Has anyone used any threats or pressure of any kind?
No, Your Honor.
Are you pleading guilty because you believe you did violate probation?
Yes, Your Honor.
How did you violate probation?
I left the KPEP program, Your Honor.
Okay.
Also, I don't know if that has any bearing on this. The prosecuting attorney should have requests for other cases against me. I don't know if that has any. I was caught.
We'll see about that. Okay, thank you. The court finds the plea is understandingly, voluntarily, and knowingly made. It is supported by the testimony. The plea of guilty is accepted, and Mr. David is found guilty of probation violation. And Ms. Russell, is there a recommendation?
Your Honor, the last time that we were in court, I figured he needed help, so we recommended that he go to the TRICAP program. TRICAP program closed down, so we hurry up and got him into the KPEP program. I spoke with his fiance, so we were rushing to get him in, and you signed off on amended orders. My concern with him is that where he's talking about other cases is because he was in possession of more drugs at the time you remanded him into custody, so that date of sentencing. I was hopeful that even if he had another case that came down, at least if he was in treatment, we could have said, okay, we saw what was going on. The problem is he said he took an Uber from KPEP, so from Calhoun County all the way back to Ingham County, he paid a lot of money to get back to leave treatment. At the time that he was arrested, he said he had never had a seizure before, but he was again in possession of drugs, which is I don't know if that's another case that's pending or not. I haven't had a chance to check with the sheriff's department. My concern is that he was behind the wheel of a car and he had a seizure in the back of the patrol car. He had no history of seizures. So had he continued to drive and the sheriff's department had not pulled him over, he probably could have killed himself if he had had a seizure while he was driving, or he was a public safety risk at that point. My concern is that he is a public safety risk. And then if we send him on a treatment program, he just walked out of one treatment program at literally midnight. So, you know, he was in jail for 30 days. So it's not like he had just got remanded into custody and he was still going through withdrawals. He literally had enough time to dry out. I'm recommending 365 days in Ingham County Jail with 37 days previously served. However, no earned early release or tether release. However, once the CAS program resumes seeing people in custody and MRT resumes seeing people in custody, at that time, he can start earning some credit for any time that he's been in custody. And then we revoke his probation without improvement. His guidelines are 7 to 23. Clearly, this is drug driven, but we're at a situation now where the one program we could get you into, you walked out of, and then you're having seizures behind the wheel. Not to mention the governor has a stay-at-home order, and he's out on the road driving around, and it's just not good at this point. I do think that Mr. David, once he gets past his drug problems, that he wasn't a hard probationer to supervise. He wasn't. So I'm not going to say that he's a horrible guy or he was disrespectful. He was not. He does have 2 small girls at home and a fiance who really was, invested in him. But at this point, until he becomes invested in himself, I don't see anything else that we can do for him.
All right, thank you. Mr. David, was there anything you wish to say?
Yes, Your Honor. I do have a drug problem, obviously. And I do have 2 small girls at home that need me at home. That's a big reason why I left the program. I was scared when this disease started, when the virus started getting bad. My anxiety went through the roof. I was talking to them. She couldn't go to work. She was worried about the girls. And I made a stupid decision that I shouldn't have made. I should have stayed in K-PEP. It was a good program. And I do want help. I am vested in myself, and I have been making bad decisions. I don't think that this is something that incarceration will help me get through. Like, I want my family. I want to be there for them. I want them to remain there for me. That's the main source of anything good that I have in my life. And I know that I need help, but the incarceration isn't what's gonna help me. I mean, I need help in these programs, and it was a very impulsive thing that I did. Obviously, I walked out of there at midnight, like Ms. Russell said. That's impulsive. Obviously, who walks out of a place at midnight on a national lockdown? It's just stupid. And it wasn't drug driven, it was family driven. But once I got home and saw that things were okay, then I started to pursue drugs again. And, I want to get clean. I want this behind me. I want to, I've got respect for the system. I've got respect for all of you, I tried to do probation. I can do probation. I need to get clean and stay clean and stay on an active path, and just sitting here incarcerated is, we're going to lose our house probably. My little girls, they're 3 and they're 5, and they're wondering where their dad's at. And I know that's not anybody's fault but my own, but I just, I really want to be there for them. And incarceration isn't what helps me. It's not I don't think it's gonna help me. And like I said, I just want to do whatever I can to get better. I can go past the drops right now. I can, I do have a history of seizures. I've had a seizure before, and I wasn't behind the wheel of a car when I had one, so I wasn't at public risk. But like I said, I just want to get clean and I want to be there for my family and I want them, you know, they're a very good support system for me. And, you know, I want them to remain so, and being incarcerated for a year is really it's gonna hurt that big time. And that's, you know, I'm sorry for what I did. It was stupid. You know, I couldn't have made a worse mistake. You guys bent over backwards to help me get into that program, and I realized that. And I want another chance. That's all. I'm sorry for what I did. I was stupid and impulsive, and it won't happen again.
All right, thank you. Well, Mr. David, I'm going to be just brutally honest with you here. I think that you are kidding yourself in so many ways. And the heart of all of it, to say that this was not drug driven is, I think, the biggest kidding of yourself of all, besides all the other excuses and alternate explanations that you just gave me. And I'm just telling you like it is, because I do think you're a very nice gentleman and you're very respectful of the system and everyone in it. And you do appear to be cooperative, but I think you're in denial about what's going on here. I know your family's a big motivator. I know they're important to you, but I don't believe for 1 minute that you walked away from treatment because solely you wanted to be with your family. I think this is all drug driven. And I think what everything demonstrates here is a sustained and serious addiction. And if you can talk about how much your family motivates you and how much they mean to you all you want, if you don't address the underlying problem, then you're going to destroy that. And that's a very sad thing. I don't want that for you. And I know that you don't want that. And it would be easy for me to say, well, you seem like such a nice guy. I'm not going to put you in jail. But I think the right thing to do is to put you in jail because we've tried treatment. And it seems to me, I agree with Ms. Russell, you are a threat to yourself, if not the community, by your impulsive, drug-driven actions. And I think that if you're going to walk away from treatment, the safest place for you is incarcerated, especially when you can have forced incarcerated treatment. So I am going to revoke your probation and sentence you to 365 days in jail with credit for 37 days already served. No earned early release or tether release, except for earned early release for the CATS program and or MRT while in jail. So in other words, when and if those programs start up while you are incarcerated, you can receive earned early release for them. And the bench warrant is dismissed and you have the right to file an application for leave to appeal your conviction and your sentence in this matter. You're entitled to an attorney at public expense to assist you in doing that. If you're making a request for one, you have to make it within 42 days of today's date. That 42 days starts to run from today. Is there by any chance an appellate rights form sitting on the table or somewhere by you? No?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, the
No.
jail was going to put them there, but I guess they haven't. So we will mail you an appellate advice of rights form and it'll explain more about your appellate rights. Do you have any questions before I end our hearing?
No, Your Honor. Just about the only question I have is about the other cases.
I don't know about those. If the prosecutor issues them, they issue them. If they don't, they don't. But I don't have
Okay.
any control over that. You understand that?
Yes,
Yeah. Okay, we're all set then?
yes, thank you.
All right. You're welcome. Thank
Thank you,
you.
Your
That's
Honor.
your hearing.
Thank you.